Well, this one, not as bad as I was expecting it to be. But is it bad? Or is it kinda good? Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? It is Joshua, aka Future Filmmaker, doing our 480 reviews, where I talk movies, TV, and music, and I'm going to talk about the second January horror movie, Underwater. So, Underwater stars the likes of Kristen Stewart, Vincent Cassel, T.J. Miller, John Gallagher Jr., and Jessica Henwick, and is directed by William Eubank. Now, this was a movie that was sitting on the shelves for a very long time. They shot this movie back in 2017, but it didn't get released until 2020. And was also the last movie to use the name 20th Century Fox before 20th Century Studios it became the new name. But I'm still calling it every 20th Century Studios name 20th Century Fox because that's how I roll here. But anyways, this was a movie I had no desire to see it because I said I would stay away from anything else Kristen Stewart was gonna do. But I felt like, you know what, I feel like I'm being a little too harsh on her. So let me just tone down some of that harshness a bit and give in to this movie. It was a horror movie. So with that being said, let's get into Underwater. But before I give my thoughts on Underwater, if you guys are new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notified when new videos are up every single day, every single week. If you want to donate money to my chime or send fan mail, you can DM me or email me privately for either one of those, and you can do that as well. And all my social media links are in the description box down below. So with that being said, let's get into Underwater. Underwater tells the story of this group of people led by Kristen Stewart, Vincent Cassel, and T.J. Miller, as well as Jessica Henwick. And disaster strikes more than 6 miles below the ocean surface when water crashes through the walls of a drilling station. So led by their captain, played by Kristen Stewart, the survivors realize that the only hope to walk away across the sea floor to reach the main part of the facility. But they soon find themselves in the fight for their lives when they come under attack from mysterious and deadly creatures that no one has ever seen. Surprisingly, as much as I'm not the hugest fan of this actress, I guess Kristen Stewart, she did a good job here. She's decent in the role. I don't think she's great. I'm not saying she's amazing. I just say she's decent in this role for what she's given. You can tell she has moments of being scared and being frightened and being freaked out. And she does have a bit of personality to her, which is what I will say about her again with Charlie's Angels. She did have some personality to her, but she wasn't very good to her as good as the lead in that movie. I feel like they should have went with someone else better with her in that movie. I will also say, yeah, she does a very good job here. I am surprised. She did have her moments where she is kind of it, but I will say she did a decent enough job for what she was given. Also, the rest of the cast is really good. Vincent Cassel is really good. John Gallagher Jr. is good. Mamoudou Athie is good. Even T.J. Miller is good. Even, just say what you want about him in real life, but T.J. Miller, the guy is funny. He's really funny. I don't want, especially in Deadpool movies. He was pretty funny in Transformers: Age of Extinction with most of the stuff he says. And also, surprisingly, I love Jessica Henwick in this movie. Jessica Henwick, she was the best character in this whole entire movie. Her character is it has a relationship with the character of Smith, played by John Gallagher Jr. And I liked her character. She also had moments of being scared and frightening, and there are a lot of moments where I kind of think she overshadowed Kristen Stewart a little bit. However, I will say that T.J. Miller, he is funny in this movie, but I also kind of felt like that some of the jokes were a bit unnecessary, but he did his part well. It wasn't like he was annoying the heck out of me. And also, I gotta say that the cinematography work by Bojan Bazelli and the direction by William Eubank is really good. You get some nice, creepy shots underwater. You get some nice, creepy moments when the creatures come out and you see the creatures. And the creatures design in this movie, it reminds me a lot of Alien and a lot of the H.P. Lovecraft Cthulhu. And that's why I do like the design of the creatures, and I do like, and also the score is really nice by Marco Beltrami and Brandon Roberts. I do like the music in this movie. It's really well done. I think it's very well creepy. It does its job where it needs to do. And as far as the horror kills in this movie, you do get some good kills in this movie. You do get some good moments of tension here. With that being said, though, the problems that does run into this movie is that this movie feels way too much like an Alien movie. And the Alien, it's like if you take Alien, The Abyss, and Leviathan, and you make them into this movie, but not as good as Leviathan or Alien or The Abyss. I do have to say that it does come in terms of the script. The script, it doesn't give you enough time to fully flesh out its characters or fully get an understanding of what these creatures are and what they are supposed to do. Also, again, in my negatives, I do have to say that T.J. Miller was kind of not funny in most parts of the movie. But I still found myself enjoying some parts of the movie, despite most of the stupidity here. And there are a lot of stupid moments, and there's a lot of typical cliche horror moments in this film that kind of feels like Alien, because you can tell the director and the writers they were heavily influenced by Alien, and it does show as you're watching this movie. And I do feel like this should have been more of its own thing, more than a wannabe Alien film. But the creature design is nice. And also, as far as the rest of the characters go, besides Jessica Henwick, you don't really get much about the main character herself. Kristen Stewart is good in the role. When you give Kristen Stewart good material to work with, I'll give her some praise. She was not the problem with Snow White and the Huntsman, people. And I know there's a lot of people who did like that movie. I did back then, but now, because of the Huntsman vs. War, no. But Kristen Stewart, she's a decent actress, in my opinion. She's hit and miss. Again, like I said, she has movies where she's good, and then she has stuff when she's bad. The Twilight movies are not her fault. Those movies are not amazing, but I still get some enjoyment out of them. Another problem that does go into this movie is the movie is kind of boring in places. It is kind of boring, and it does kind of stop to what's going on, because when the creatures start attacking, that's when it gets good. But I feel like you don't have moments with them. It's like, and you just and another thing, you just easily put these characters in a situation. And I felt like this movie's on an hour and 35 minutes. I feel like if you did have a little bit longer to do what you wanted to do by introducing these guys a lot more, I will say that, yeah, you could have done it a lot better. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that this is a bad movie, because there are some good things in this movie. This is kind of like a time waster, where I can just watch it on digital, or I can find it somewhere and watch it on HBO or Cinemax and enjoy it for what it is. It's not a great film. It's not a bad movie either. It's just there. Real quick before I give you my final thoughts on Underwater, be sure to follow all the social media links to my description box down below. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notified when the videos up. Otherwise, you won't get notifications for any posts in my community tab or videos that I drop. Because, trust me, there's going to be a lot of videos coming as especially 2020 catch-up review roundup on movies that I have yet to review. Also, be on the lookout pretty soon, because I will be reviewing the remainder of Christopher Nolan films like Insomnia, Following, and Memento, and I'll be doing my Christopher Nolan reviews. Those are leading up to Tenet. So, yeah. All in all, I will say that Underwater is a decent movie. Is it a great movie? No. Is it a bad movie? No. But for a movie that I said I wasn't going to watch, for a movie that I was ready to hate, there is a lot of good things in here. Kristen Stewart, this is one of the better roles I've seen her in. Jessica Henwick is good. The cast is good. It has some good atmosphere in places. Good direction. A good score. You have good cinematography. And it's a fun creature feature film. Now, as far as creature feature movies goes, Alien, Crawl, Leviathan, and The Abyss are better movies. This movie does have flaws. You don't get a lot of character development. I felt like you could have gotten more out of the lead character as far as development goes. Because acting-wise, Kristen Stewart brings it. And also, this movie kind of drags a little bit, but could have been a lot better, but you could have done a hell of a lot worse. So I'm gonna spare this movie a negative review. I'm being neutral about it. So this is easily a wait for Netflix. So that was my review of Underwater. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you see it? Did you not? And I'll see you guys in the next review. You guys keep it cool and join the Epictasticness.